What's up, guys? Riverman here. I'm out in the garage. Tonight I'm going to be using Bixby's DIY kit in order to create an adapter for my Topwater PDL. Normally the Topwater PDL is not something that seems compatible with the Bixby, but there are a few products out there that will allow us to get the job done and easily install and use the Bixby for whatever purpose you may need it. So the first thing you're going to need is going to be this pedal drive insert that covers the cutout for the Topwater PDL where the pedal drive would normally go. So this has to be specially designed, and there is somebody out there who makes these things, and that's Nick at NavarreKayakFishing.com. So huge shout out to him. He makes a couple great, well, he makes more than one great product that I've used, and this is one that I planned on using for this specific purpose, but I just used it today actually out on the river to just cover up the opening in the hole where the pedal drive would normally go if you don't need it. So it's great for that. So I give him mad props for everything he does. He's an awesome guy. So definitely go look him up if you can. But his product that fills in that pedal drive space is going to be what you need in order to install the Bixby DIY kit. So a couple other things. Tonight I'm going to be using a 32 millimeter hole saw attachment or a bit. Secondly, I'm going to be using a 13/64, kind of an odd measurement, but a 13/64 drill bit to carve out holes for the bolts here. And then I have two pad eyes with short screws that won't go too far because this insert here is not very thick, maybe 3/4 of an inch. So obviously you'll need a power saw as well, and that's about it. So I'm just gonna document the process for anyone else who might want to do the same thing that I'm doing right now. And the first thing we're going to do is we are going to pick a spot to put this under the insert. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the bottom piece from the DIY kit and I'm going to put that on the bottom of the insert. And I want to make sure that this part up here is facing forward because that's the front of the kayak in theory. And I'm just going to mount this somewhere, you know, centered. It doesn't have to be perfect, but centered out here somewhere. And then I need to draw some circles in there so I can mark where I'm going to drill out for these holes. But my Sharpie here is not going to reach down, so I'm going to have to figure something else out or just take this directly down into the holes and make marks. So pencil is not going to work, so I'm going to have to do my best instead to hold this in place and then just make some shallow holes with the drill to start. Alright, so I went ahead and drilled that first hole. I'm going to take a smaller drill bit to hold it in place. And then I'm going to drill out the rest of the holes. So it looks like I'm going to have to take these out so I can drill straight down into these holes. So I'm just going to take a screwdriver and I'm going to screw those out so I can release this centerpiece. All right, now that we got that, now we can put this back together. Okay, now that we have our holes drilled, our piece put back together, we are going to get some 3-inch long machine screws. These are 10 by 32. You could go a little smaller. 8 works just fine. We're going to stick these through the holes that we drilled. All right, flip her over. And then we need to put our top piece on. Seems like one of the holes I drilled is a little funky. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this here. I'll come back in with the drill. And voila. All right. All right, now we got all 4 fitting on there. This one's a little awkward down here. That's my fault. But you can always drill things out just a little bit to make it fit a little nicer. Now that we know that that works, we can go ahead and put this piece on. All right, fits like a glove. So at this point, this is where we should be. We're gonna flip it over. We're gonna put this top piece on. All right, good. Now we're gonna find these nuts. And tighten each one of these down. All right, now that we have this secure, we got to find a way for the cable to come back up through here. Otherwise, the insert isn't going to close in the space where the pedal drive goes. So that is why we have the 32mm hole saw. What we're going to do is cut a hole back here to run this in. Now we've got our hole, looks nice, and we're going to run the cabling through. All right, looking good. Now I want to see if this pad eye will lock this down. I don't want this cable coming loose, so I'm going to go ahead and just put one pad eye right in here on the underside to keep it held down. Very good. Then what I'm going to do, I might as well go ahead and take out these and run this cable through this pad eye. All right, let's get the motor attachment, put it on there, and put it in the boat. So I've actually got a broken piece right here that I broke. That's my fault. Not a Bixby issue. That isn't allowing this to sit as tightly as I'd like, but that's the final product. So let's go ahead and throw it in the boat and see what it looks like there. This is gonna have to go in first. So we set that down there. Then we can angle it, make sure this is under here. And this is gonna keep it from coming up. We can lock it like we would our pedal drive normally. Our cable is gonna sit right here. And then ideally, I'm gonna put the battery up under the seat. There you have it. The Bixby jet installed on a Topwater PDL 104. I think it's ready for action. You can tell that it's not sticking down too far. It sticks down probably less than the pedal drive itself, so pretty nice overall. Right here, sitting pretty flush, not taking up a lot of room. I like it. Can't wait to test it out. That's gonna do it for the video. I hope that's been helpful. There's not any ready-made mounts out there for the Topwater PDL, so this is, I think, the best option, or the next best option for mounting the Bixby on an Old Town Topwater that has an insert like this. I'll go ahead and leave links in the description below to Nick's stuff at NavarreKayakFishing.com. Pretty easy to find. I highly recommend it, so definitely need to visit it if you plan on doing something like this. And if not, there's still some nifty things for Topwater PDL, like seat risers that I've put on and really changed how I fish and how comfortable I am when I fish. So that's gonna do it for tonight's video. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe if you don't. That's alright. I'm gonna go fishing anyway. See y'all.